5440 or Fight looks a complicated block, but it really isn't. It's very effective in quilts, and if you put them together they form amazing patterns. The block itself is named after the latitude lines in the States of America. I think it was some sort of argument going on and they were going to move the lines, and this block was developed at that time, and that's why they called it 5440 or Fight. Just a little bit of useful information to pass on to you there. So,
or useless.
It's not, no, people will be telling.
Okay, it's very useful, yes.
Very useful.
You could win a prize or a competition or a quiz with that answer, probably.
Depends who's doing the questions.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
So back to the plot. This is what you get to make your one block, okay? Which doesn't look much compared to what it ends up like. That's why I'm saying it's not as bad as you think. So we've got pieces that will go in here. Then we've got pieces that will go in there, right? So there's 4 of those. So that's 3 pieces there. These 2 get joined together to form the other 4 patches that you can see. Okay, so I'm going to take you through the process a step at a time, which is what a good demonstration does. I've made 3 already. 3 I made earlier. 1, 2, 3. So now we need to do this one. Okay. Right, what you need to look at is that tells you all this in your instructions though. Shortest edge, this edge here is the shortest edge, okay? And you've got to put these pieces either side of it. Pictures, there's lots of pictures there's pictures of wrong and right in the instructions. So that is correct, okay? If you try, which some people have, to put it the wrong way around, and then they've got something that looks a very strange shape and rectangular, not a square at all. But just remember, and there's pictures of the wrong and the right, so don't think, oh yeah, whip that on there. It's got to look like that, and it makes the block section. This is the shortest edge. These 2 are the same size and longer, so that's the way to, if you need to remember that. They've got their little ends chopped off there. That helps reduce the bulk at the edges, and we just do a normal seam. And what makes it the effect of what you're doing is the angle of which we've cut all of these. That's why perfect to cut, perfect for you to get cut, because we've had to get them at that angle. So 1/4 inch seam. So although it looks more complicated, this could be any straight seam. Go down there. Out your machine. Press your, in this case, taupey greeny colour out towards the edge, like so. No ironing. We know we don't do that, but in this case, this is on a little bias, so definitely no ironing. So there we go. Put it back here. The only other place you can go wrong is by putting it on here, and then it looks even worse. So just try and bear in mind what you're aiming for, and it becomes quite clear. So there we put the other one on, line it up, line it up. See that okay, Mark?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No problem.
Under the machine. Same again, bias edge. It's not a true bias, but it's on a little bit. So none of this. Just press it away. Press it away. Oh, place in place. You see? Not difficult at all, was it?
That's right. Yeah.
Did you think it was the wrong
Yeah,
one?
I thought it was for split second.
Camera happy, Marcus.
Yep.
Take our 2 pieces of strip fabric and join them together into one long strip. So blah, 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 blah. Talk amongst yourselves. You're not talking amongst yourself, Mark?
No, I'm just going to have a look at the block again.
Okay.
To show people.
I just wanted to show this in its entirety, rather than I could have just stitched a little bit of it, but I wanted to do the whole thing. So now we're going to press it. They're not, you know, it's up to you which way you press this, it doesn't really matter. And I'm left-handed on the smallest ironing board in the world to do this long strip. You know what it's like when we're trying to press a long strip. And I tell you, above this iron, it's very hot. Okay. So all the way across, like so, away from us.
Make sure you don't twist the seams underneath.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing this hand, look, you see, as I go along.
Yep.
Then you're making sure. But even so, when you pick it up, fingers crossed, have a look. Oh, look, look, look. So what, in that case, you just go back and press it over from that side and check it's okay on the other side. So even with the best will in the world, well, we've all done it, twisted our seams. Okay, now you take this long strip and it might not be even, it depends on the width of the fabric. And we need to straighten the edge. So you put a straight line of your rule here on the straight line that you've stitched. So see, if it's like that, it's not even, look. So you'll start at an angle. If it's straight, you'll be cutting a straight edge, not to an angle. Okay?
Yeah.
Slice that off like so. If you're left-handed, you'll be working the other way around.
So that's your starting point.
That's your starting point. And then you turn it round like so. And from there, you cut 2.5 inch strips. So like that. And I'm lining up this edge, this line here, and this edge here. And then if you know, the others have got to line up, haven't they, really?
And if you're not confident enough, you can do this by drawing a line first.
You can. Or if it's so hot that your cutter's slipping out of your hand, you can. So, like so. If that, you know, do your measurement, cut, draw, and then you can cut with your scissors if that's what you prefer to do. It's no problem at all. So I'll just do a couple more, like so. So because they're all pressed the same in the same direction, you put one against the other, so you'll have opposite fabrics together, like that. And you'll click that little seam together there. So you feel it with your thumb and your finger, and you can feel no gap. It feels like a continuous piece of fabric. And we've put one seam going down, one seam going up, and that spreads the bulk of your work. We stitch 1/4 inch seam, and the needle has come undone, which is not good at all. So, do you want to talk? You've got to talk amongst yourselves now, Mark.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll show them the block again.
Or should we start again?
No, keep going.
Keep going, okay.
It won't take you long to thread the needle up.
Really?
Yeah, hopefully.
Quite right. Okay, pretend nothing happened. I'm just going to stitch my 1/4 inch seam beautifully. I think because, you know, this is a video, or, you know, we're on telly or whatever, when we first did it, I used to panic if my needle came unthreaded, but, you know, it happens to us all, so nothing goes right.
Live with it.
Yeah, live with it. Get rid of all that thread. And then, so I'm opening it up, beautiful seam in the centre, and then you just press away from you. And you need 5 of these to complete your quilt. So I'm not going to do them all, I'm just going to show you how to join one row. So they would go in here, like this. Make sure they're in the right position, because what happens is, so I'm putting them here because you get this flow of colour look through. This way we've got our little hearts coming through. So you don't want to stop it by going heart, heart, colour, colour, unless that's what you wanted. So many designs you can do with this. So I'll make up this row here. and just make sure you're following the pictures because you don't want to put them the wrong way round. So you just fold it over, offer it up to the edge, 1/4 inch seam, stitch down. In this case we press towards the away from the press towards the squares, away. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
You're looking at it yourself.
I was.
Yeah.
I was getting.
Talking to yourself, you were.
Oh, that's not. That's quite normal.
That's
though,
quite
isn't
normal around here, isn't it?
it? Yeah. And even if you're watching this demo and you think, you know, one block, you've got all the knowledge you need to make a whole quilt like this. And honestly, you know, the patterns just develop the more that you put together. They start making up and down rhythms, and it can look great. So that's all you do. You join your 3 rows with your checkerboard. When you get to the end of your piece, you'll have a little bit left, about this much, just in case you have to straighten. If you did a little bit, you know, there's enough allowance for that. So that is your 54/40 and fight block. Thanks for watching.